It's like a
pull off in a minute. Not now, though.
Look at that. Boys and girls, get you some of that. Look at the belly on that thing. Good God.
He's been eating.
Yeah, he's been eating. You need a picture of that one.
Yes, sir.
What's up, folks? Out here on Lake of Egypt. My main man, Ron, got a hold of me, and there he is. You know that guy. He invited me to come out on the lake with him for a few hours. We're kind of mid-morning right now. We're gonna fish till, I don't know, till the evening. Wind's starting to pick up. Got about 10 to 15 mile an hour probably right now. We ran all the way to the other end of the lake because, you know, we've been spending a lot of time near the warm water discharge and just kind of wanted to come down here and do a little experiment and see what happens. So here we go. Let's see what we can come up with. Kind of funny, Ron's kind of like a raccoon. We were fishing down this bank. I was throwing that crankbait and he was throwing a jig, and he noticed something over there shiny right on the bank, and we thought it was a Yeti Cup. Come to find out it was just an off-brand Cup. So I was in charge of running the trolling motor in about 15 mile an hour winds and easing us into the shallows with grass and rock everywhere and trying not to ruin his beautiful Ranger. And he reaches out with the dip net and he's trying to lasso this Cup, and we finally got it in, and it actually had a full beer still left. We did not drink it, but I'm pretty sure he's going to give it to his dad for a Christmas gift. So very thoughtful guy. Oh, it came off.
Best little stretch I ever had on cedar was at night. It was a full moon of April. So you can imagine the fish were doing it. Yeah. You know, and we're lucky that spring. The key to fishing at night in spring is having some relatively clear water. Hey, good job, man. That's not bad fish. Good job. Camera.
Here we go. Caught me a rock crawler fish. It's one of my favorite crankbaits in the spring. Well, late winter. It's still winter time. It's got a really wide wobble, but it triggers a lot of reaction strikes. There we go. Nice fish. Nice.
Yeah, good solid chunk.
Yeah. We stayed down on the other end of the lake most of the morning and half the afternoon. The water was really stained. We just kept bouncing around and we managed to catch a few fish. Water temps were 44 to 45, somewhere in that range, and visibility was about 2 to 3 feet, probably closer to 2. It had a nice stain color to it. But we wanted to fish the other end to see what it was about, see where the fish were, because it's about that time where they're going to start moving back into these creeks.
Pliers are back in that little hole too.
Okay. Hey there, folks. Wintertime cranking. It's a nice fish. Look at that black lip on that thing. Fish's got some weight to it too. I really like throwing a crankbait this time of the year. The rock crawler's been my favorite, and it was nice to catch a few fish on it. Ron was wanting to give that A-rig a break, and he managed to catch quite a few fish on a jig. I'll show you what I'm doing with this crankbait. So I'm making a long cast, and this thing dives down to about 9-10 foot. It says 9 to 11 on the package, but 9 foot's that nice range where it gets on the bottom and stays on the bottom. But you're gonna make a long cast, reel it down, and you're gonna just kind of crawl it along the bottom, just a few turns of the reel, and then let it pause, and just kind of, you can even sweep it kind of like a Carolina rig. But let me make a few casts and I'll show you. You want to get it down when it hits the bottom. Kind of slow that reel down.
Back to the boat. Good job. Well, crankbait's giving up a few bites. Yeah. Good job.
There we go, folks. Another fish on that crankbait. Cold water. We got 44-degree water out here, but still getting a few bites. This little rock crawler.
There'll be some rock crawling in there.
One more thing for the tackle box. I usually do a lot of experimentation, especially when I'm in the back of the boat with somebody. I was throwing that little finesse Kitech. It's a 3-inch. I had an 1/8 ounce ball head today. I did hooked up with a really big fish, and I fought it for quite a while. It was pulling drag, and it ended up jumping probably about 20 feet from the boat, and it was in that 4-pound range. Just a big fat fish.
Oh! Dude, you see that? Really?
Man, I just missed a big one. About a 4-pounder, jumped him off on a finesse swim bait. He was catching them on that A-rig in front of me, and I was disciplined. I stuck with that little swim jig or swim bait because, I don't know, I just wanted to see. I wanted to do something different. Catching a few fish here. Better fish?
Yeah.
Huh? We were trying to stay away from the A-rig, but Ron couldn't stand it. Fat, God, fat.
That's
Good
like
God.
up here right now. Hope to live on the north end.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. There he is. Boom. Ta-da. Little finesse swim bait. Shout out to Matt, 3 Pound Fishing. Catching your fish, brother. Nice fish. We'll let her go.
That is a double, maybe. They have like 4 turns of the handle.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. It's a good one. Where's he going? Running the show.
Wherever he wants to.
Wherever he wants, huh?
Get him up there where we can see him. Oh, man.
Ooh, that's a toad, dude. That's a toad.
Side though.
Yeah. That's a freaking big one.
Get him out of the water. Pull off.
It's like a...
Pull off in a minute.
Look at that. Boys and girls, get you some of that. Look at the belly on that thing. Good God.
He's been eating.
Yeah, he's been eating. You need a picture of that one.
Yes, sir. Not real long.
It's like 4.5 at least. Yeah, man, it's got some weight to it. Look at that, folks. My man hooked up with a big one. Fish is very, very heavy. Look at the belly on that thing. Let her go. Folks, on my way back from Egypt, had a good day, man. It is super windy. That wind really picked up. When I first got there, it wasn't blowing that bad, like 5 miles an hour or so, and then it didn't take long and it got up to probably 15 or 20 mile an hour. So it was a lot of work being out there in the wind. We did manage to catch some fish. Now we intentionally went to the other end of the lake. Many of you that don't know, Lake of Egypt is a power plant lake, so you got warm water discharge, and we went to the other end, the area that wasn't influenced by the warm water. We found the temperatures down there, water temperatures down there were 42 to 44-ish, somewhere in that range. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was 44
44, 45, and we did find 46 down there. Now up by the power plant, the water temps were like 52, 53, 54, something like that. But we kind of made a commitment to run down there and get away from that, you know, the warm water. When we were leaving the marina, there were gulls diving everywhere, so it was pretty obvious that that's probably where we should have been fishing. As far as just catching a lot more fish, there was shad everywhere on the side scan. But we just wanted to go and look at the other end of the lake. So we spent majority of the day down there. We caught fish on jig. I caught fish on a crankbait. What else did we catch fish on? I think that's really it. And then towards the end of the day, we saved about 45 minutes and came up and fished in that warm water. And we caught fish on an A rig. I had about a 4+ pounder. I had a good 4-pounder hooked up on a little finesse swim bait, a little 3-inch Kitek on a 1/8 ounce ball head, 8-pound test, and it was awesome. I was just watching the side scan from the back of the boat, and I saw a couple fish cruise by, and I threw in that area, just let it sink, and I just felt the thump, loaded up, and did a little sweep set, and I could feel that fish wanting to come up. It started to come up, and it was coming towards the boat, and then it just stripped some drag, and it jumped up probably 30 feet from the boat, and I saw it. It was a really nice fat fish, really wide. And Ron managed to catch a really good fish on an A-rig. It was in the 5-pound range, you know, somewhere around there. But that thing was super wide, super fat, had a big old belly on it. But great day nonetheless. Air temps were 64. Like I said earlier, the wind was howling. We got sunny conditions in the morning, and then it got overcast. There's a front moving in. We've got a bunch of rain coming tomorrow, and then there's going to be, I think, another cold front coming after that. Temperatures are going to drop. So anyway, that's it, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate you coming along with me on this little adventure, and until next time.